continuons la lecture de notre livre Future Africa Sub-Saharan Takeoff in Light of Chinese Economic Development. Livre publié le 21 novembre 2011 par Dr. Ndumo Melindi Thérèse. Et nous sommes en train de lire le début de ce livre. Et là, nous sommes aux objectifs. Et nous sommes bien sûr à la section 1, 2, 3. Schedule. Et nous avons maintenant lu les perspectives et nous passons aux objectifs. Mais c'est fait en anglais, mes frères et sœurs, parce que le livre a été écrit en anglais et je dois respecter cela. J'essaierai de voir comment traduire en français, parce que c'est le côté francophone qui est vraiment dans le retard constaté et l'ignorance même de ce dont on parle. Le côté anglophone du Cameroun, pour quelques-uns, a la connaissance de ce dont je parle. C'est pour ça qu'ils sont plus dynamiques et responsables. Je ne veux pas dire que ceux de la région francophone ne sont pas responsables, mais c'est l'ignorance. Ils ont été gardés dans l'ignorance de ce qui se passe. On y va. Donc, c'est le B qui est objectif. C'est-à-dire, je reprends un peu. Purpose, searching for a best model of economic development reform applied to the African countries and third world economic and social development toward the globalization for a new real world economic order. A demand for freedom and sovereignty, lack of theories and strategies for sustainable bargain in the World Trade Organization. That is the purpose of our long-term research and studies, searching for key solutions of African economic development. Now, you have the purpose. Then we have first perspectives. I read again because I already started there and I have to reopen a new video. With her comparative study perspectives, A, because we are in purpose, A, which means one, A, perspectives. With her comparative study of social, economic, and traditional culture between China's minorities groups and Cameroonian minorities ethnic groups, Ndumo Melindi Thérèse Aisha has carried out and gained the discoveries of the brotherhood link between Chinese people and African people. This revealing the origin of the Chinese people from the Nile Valley with a sub-Saharan language of Betibinanga. This I quoted like that because in Africa they removed N, which means Benti, Benanga. So I have to write like that as it is written in books, then explain later. Beti Benanga is normally written be nti benanga. Okay. Bantu primitive language. Written system in pictographic characters. Spoken in China and Cameroon. Vous voyez comment Dieu clignote. Il confirme. Ce n'est pas Beti Benanga, c'est Benti Benanga, les fils de Dieu, les honorables fils de Dieu. Et Nanga était notre père, là, noir. Là-bas, vous avez Nang. Il était albinos. C'est pour ça qu'on dit Benti Benanga. Nang était, notre père noir était albinos. Je continue. Bantu primitive language. Vous voyez? Ici, on dit Bantu. Si vous coupez, vous allez entendre Bantu. Un T devenu néant. Ntu. Okay. I have to read, to continue. So we said Bantu primitive language, written system in pictographic characters and spoken in China and Cameroon. This is a very important cultural heritage discovery to be used for communication and cultural exchange programs in the process of new strategies for cooperation within the third world worldwide in the new theory proposed in this new framework. A win-win game economic theory to apply for a successful bargain for a new economic order. This being called Pangmang in Chinese or Pangma in my mother language, in Cameroonian language. This model stands a kind of barter model of the old world system. In the old world system, no money. We do barter programs, barter model. Okay. B, objectives. The objectives of this research is to find new strategies and economic development model and theory for the recovery of the sub-Saharan Africa. Come on. The Bantu people of Africa and diaspora. Close that. Through China's reform step-by-step process and achievement. An academic and cultural exchanges project could take place and be conducted bilaterally in Africa and China based on a comparative study in economic backyardness and development possibilities. The cultural and linguistic heritage, hidden treasures within minorities, ethnic groups of both Africa and China with a language spoken by both show a strong brotherhood thread lying and kept around Bantu people and diaspora all over the world to be discovered, and if recovered, to be used for a successful entertainment and communication. Many symposium, conference, and seminar needed if financial funds be provided. That could become a great deal for a successful link of cooperation that could then achieve the research framework dream. A model and theory called Pangmang, or a real win-win game, and plan new strategies for development and establishment of a new world economic order, claiming cry of these Bantu people of Africa and diaspora, struggling within the eternal chains of slavery and colonization exploitation worldwide. Then, section 124 says, title, we call them subtitles. A search for a new national, regional, and international order. In search for a model with theoretical, practical, and policy orientation to African economic development, my research and studies focus on sub-Saharan Africa backwardness and economic crisis compared to China economic reform and development achievement. Yes, my comparative studies on these issues prize China as the best step-by-step reform and economic development in this 21st century, witnessed by African ISIS. A boom predicted since 1990 that I have maintained as an echo at each meeting, forum, or conference worldwide. The research field works from Africa to China and academic achievements show a substantial gain of mastering world economic theories and principles of social and political economic development in the contemporary economic system that confirm knowledge, skills, and professional experience with great impact on interests, on the purpose, perspective, and objectives intended by this hardship and difficult research and academic framework and investigation about African countries and diaspora interaction and development of the world economic development system since the 19th century revolution changes. Furthermore, we continue. The research framework presents a complete economical, anthropological analysis and overview with new discoveries that hasn't been previously published by any other research framework before 1995, starting of her echo as discovery regarding the brotherhood linking China to Africa. Furthermore, the most close links of old golden age present a high achievement by the presence of African people in China economic development long time ago from Shang Chang dynasty to Tang and Zhou, where lies her ancestral roots. See the late Tang and Song, the flowering of Chinese culture. Page 6. East Asia, Tradition and Transformation. See page 116 by John K. Fairbank, Edwin O. Rachel, Albert M. Crane, Harvard University in 1973 and 1978. By the methodological research fieldwork process, she discovered firstly at Lijiang County and Kunming City her family name Ndong Meling and lineage of many ancestor names such as Tang, Mozendong, Ndong, Zhang, Zhang, Ndong, Meling, Zhou, Zhong, means Zhou, Kun, Chailun, who discovers the process of paper by wood peel, similarly with the process developed in Cameroon and other African countries. Chailun. My uncle was named Chailun also, just to add. And dialects spoken in that special community of minority of China where it is said Nkunkum for a great traditional chief, as my father was named, because he was a traditional patriarch of Eton Benti tribe in Cameroon. Then in Kaifeng, the first step where the people who crossed the river by foot during their hardship period of slavery in Egypt settled, I enjoyed a kind of being home with the small descent group of the primitive Chinese family connected. In Lijiang, during the 2002 Spring Festival, a meeting with the people of Nashi Domba culture and museum, after comparing the double chart of the old writing pictographic dialect of the primitive Bantu Etonbenti, lost since the 13th century during the captivity and slavery dilemma of African people, and the Nasi Domba primitive writing chart in the Cultural Museum, a cooperative project was initiated for a further research program between the author and the Museum of Lijiang, China. On December 30, 2003, a second find was the starting point of the old Silk Road, where I was so surprised with an old Chinese historian teacher able to retrace the old pilgrim road from China to Africa back further. He presented also the business and trade organization as barter old process between Africa and Asia, a wonderful Pangmang or Pangma system of our primitive economic system rediscovered in China. This is one of the most important game theory to apply for a quick takeoff and enhance of Africa-China trade. The old Silk Road discovered will bring more closely the goods traded between Africa and China. For in the brotherhood interaction, the win-win game stands the sole enhanced prize. Communication is the first powerful weapon in the intercourses of any friendship. Therefore, this powerful Chinese primitive and traditional dialect and writing system of the old dynasties, similar to the author's mother language, Benti writing pictograms, which still alive in China, although lost in its original homeland, Africa sub-Saharan region, needs a further research and development projects and program to enhance China and Africa for better cooperation and relationships. This new discovery of the primitive pictographic writing system, see early Chinese tradition, page 20, 21, 23, 26 AB. My reference is here. The Chinese writing system, Tang Dynasty culture, book, East Asia Tradition and Transformation by John K. Fairbank, Edwin O. Richard, Albert M. Craig, Harvard University. Confirm another great advantage of the Chinese writing system, that is easily surmounting differences of dialect, or more fundamental linguistic barriers. This will probably be a key solution in cooperation. With the evidence of the alphabetic double chart discovered by the author of this essay, sharing and exchanging through unrestricted trade, the benefits of our tools with our partners enables us to overcome our shame. For a country without culture is a river without source. As Chinese people have been praised in this framework as the only keepers of most of the traditional customs and cultural heritage of the old world, this return home will be a heroic deed indeed, the biggest key solution for such cooperation and relations and better understanding. An inscribed Anyang bone is described on pages 22 and 23 as following Chinese characters. The monosyllabic and the monosyllabic and inflected nature of the Chinese language helps account for the retention by the Chinese of a writing system which, like that of ancient Egypt, originated from pictographs, but unlikely hieroglyphics, always remained true to the basic principle that each monosyllabic word should have its unique symbol or character. Inflections will long ago have forced the Chinese to a more flexible phonetic system of writing. It is said that the Chinese writing system encountered in the Anyang finds had already undergone a long development and had progressed far beyond simple pictographs. Antecedents for these writings, in fact, seems to exist in sites of 5th millennium BC. Shan inscription on bones reveals by the name Shan the connection between Africa and Asia in old age. You will see page 23, 24, and 25 in the same book. The first hand essay that covers 22 years theoretical and practical preliminary worldwide research and studies will empower the author to an ongoing further research and development R&D propositions of exchanges programs to enhance source countries for a strategic win-win game theory that will allow a full participation under globalization. The win-win game theory, also a traditional heritage dialect Pangmang of the old world towards a planning of old age system that the winds from the east will apply an abrupt awakening of the weak motherland of the west as emergence of present day economic system beyond the horizon. Then, if the horizon were to be changed to the Andes, Africa sub-Saharan region will learn to face it and then shape its destiny. Yes, future Africa sub-Saharan takeoff in light of practice in Chinese economic development is a divine mission. By Dr. Ndomo Melingi Therese Aisha. Yes, we will praise my director of thesis, Professor Wang Weiping, and his adjunct, I call it like in French so you can understand, Professor Pengang, and I praise the Renmin University of China with all my colleagues as professors, as teachers, and all my colleagues, researchers, and all my comrades with whom I am so thankful, recognizing their helpful hand, taking me place to place to understand China. Then I recognize also all the help that I receive from the parents, from the families, from the friends, and everybody that helped me. I recognize also the handful help of Swiss Air. I recognize the handful of the Muslim community. When my son passed away, they really took care with me and even helped me to take my other children from Cameroon to China. Thank you, brothers and sisters, Muslim community. And now I can go to see my son's tomb. He was my interpreter. He was my angel. Thank all of you. Now, brothers and sisters, you can understand that my dreams come true. The last part is with you, because now we are at the phase of meeting you people of Cameroon, of Africa, of diaspora, getting together. Then we will finish this wonderful work without begging, without debt, as I did. Because if I did without any help, financial help, any debt, it means that you, Africa, Sub-Sahara, you will take off and be developed freely. We are talking about freedom and freedom. We are talking about sovereignty and sovereignty. Recovery. God is God. Whatever he says, it comes true. If he promised to you something, be sure that you will get it. I'm not selling anything. I'm doing what God is guiding me to do. Yes. There is nothing else. We will follow our path with the help of our Lord, who comes to deliver African people. Hallelujah. God bless all of you. And we pass to the next DIEU.